Alright, this is Lena with the Soap Obsession Bath and Body Shop, back at you to make another soap. Today we are doing an olive oil soap, 100% olive oil, but we're going to be doing it with a fragrance, and it will be black raspberry vanilla. Alright, I decided to do a fragrance this time simply because I've had people, come up to me during fairs and they want a nice gentle soap, but they don't want it unscented. And so I picked black raspberry vanilla because I know it's a behaving fragrance. It smells amazing, and it has staying power. It doesn't fade either. So that's why I picked this one. Okay, so for our colors, we're going to be using a mix of black berry from Nurture Soap, and I'm mixing that with our Purple Galaxy mica from Crafter's Choice Wholesale Supplies Plus. And then I'm going to have a little red color in there. This is going to be Firecracker from Nurture Soap as well. And then I'm going to have TD. TD is going to be my base. I'm just going to have a little bit of the red and more of our purple mix. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so we're going to start with pouring our lye solution into our oils and get that blended up. Oh, and for my additives, I have in here buttermilk powder, honey, and kaolin clay. Okay. Now I'm hoping, normally olive oil soap, it takes a long time to stay to trace, but I know because I got these sugars in here that, that might change things. So I'm going to keep an eye on this. Go ahead, let's pour off our red. Now, I'm not going to have a whole bunch of red. And if I didn't mention it, the fragrance oil was already blended in with the additives before I added my lye solution. Okay, so it's already in there. This mixed up here. I'll probably have to blend a little bit. Let's do our purple mixture. Now, I tried to put most of the blackberry in there and just and less of the Purple Galaxy, so it'll be more of a blackberry color. But that blackberry color, if you don't put enough in there, it'll be gray, turn a grayish color. So I don't like that. That's what happened the last time I made the soap. Alright. So hopefully it'll have some of that blackberry in there, but it'll have a little of that Purple Galaxy to give it a little oomph. Alright. Now what I've noticed about olive oil soap, the last time I made it with honey and oatmeal, and it was unscented, and it probably had been curing for maybe a month. And my husband, we needed soap upstairs, and so he came down and got some, and he picked one of those bars. Now, normally I let my olive oil soaps at least cure for a good month, but he brought it upstairs at 4 weeks and put it in the shower. So I was like, okay, well, we got to use it. And to my surprise, that soap was great even at 4 weeks. And I think it was because of the sugars, from the honey, that it had a really nice lather to it. Now I use a washcloth, so I wouldn't notice any sliminess or anything like that people talk about. But I did make a point to take it and rub it between my hands, and it still lathered up great. There was a little bit of that lotiony-like or slime-like look to it, but not not that much, not enough to turn me off at the very least. So I figured by adding all the extra sugars in here, when summertime comes, it won't be a year, it'd be 3 to 6 months, and still have a great bar of soap. Since this is really runny, we're just gonna have a drop swirl. hours since I finished pouring this soap. And I decided to pipe. Okay, as you can see, I got my piping bag here. But it took so long for this to set up. Start down here, and I think you guys can see me. Yeah, you can see. And we're gonna work our way down. So hopefully this turns out good. Now when I put this together, I was afraid it was gonna be too mottled. It's okay now. I'm feeling that white. It's gonna be very white. It's gonna be, it's like it's a lot of the purple and the red mixed together. Mottled up the way it did the colors, kind of mixed too much, but you know what, we're gonna let it set and see how it does. I think with the inside being this colorful, it will look great. All right, we're back to cut our raspberry vanilla olive oil soap, and I have taken it out of the mold, and here's what it looks like. Now the inside is going to be very bright, vibrant colors, and that top looks kind of dull. Now I don't know if it picks up on the camera, but the part on top does have quite a bit of purple and a little bit of the pink color in it, and down at the bottom layer here it definitely does. So it looks better than I thought it would. I was really bummed out that the colors got so mottled. It turned, you know, it's looking better than I thought it would. Okay, so wasn't what I envisioned for sure, but not as bad as I thought it would be after I finished it. So you know, there's always talk about how long olive oil soap takes to harden in the mold, and you got some people who say, oh well, mine doesn't take that long, you know, within 24 hours I can unmold it and be cut, and if I wait any longer it'll be too hard. Well, that was not the case here, let me tell you. So I'll tell you about it as I make my first cut. But so I made this on a Sunday, and today is Thursday that I have molded it. Now I thought that, you know, the next day to be ready, and I took it out the wooden part of the mold, the silicone part out of the wooden box, and here's our first cut, and that looks pretty good. Not as much red in there. It's a little bit showing in certain parts. Okay. All right, and here's that top. So that doesn't look too bad at all. The top with the inside with more of the purple color looks pretty good. So that Monday morning I came down to try to mold it, got out of the wood box. When I pulled back the silicone, it was still very, very soft. So I said, well, we'll wait. And so of course I came to check on it every day, and it really did not feel like it was ready to come out the silicone mold. So today, you know, being Thursday, I said, okay, it's time. And as you can see with that first cut and this one here, it is pretty hard. Okay. All right, so here we are again. So we got more of that pinky red color showing up. All right, this looks great. Now it's gonna take a few minutes for that fragrance to come through, because we did use, I believe, buttermilk in this soap. So we did buttermilk and honey. Alright, so let's go ahead and keep cutting. So this is actually looking pretty good, even though this top, the colors didn't turn out well. I actually do like the pattern that's on it. Looks pretty good, and I think I got a piece of undissolved honey in there, but that's okay. Alright, so this looks pretty good. Here's that top. Alright, it's looking a lot better than I thought. That purple is actually coming through, so I thought it was going to be more gray at the top, because you know, it got so the colors mixed in together so much. But it's actually better than I thought. So as far as olive oil goes, I think the very first time I did 100% olive oil soap, I put the batter in cavities, and I didn't do anything to it. It's just the olive oil, and that's it. I don't even think I put sodium lactate in there, but I put it in cavities, a cavity mold. So I think, you know, that was the one time where, you know, it solidified like in 24 hours or whatever. So, and I did actually let that one sit for a whole year, and it turned out to be really nice. I ended up using it on my girls when they got a little older, not, you know, infant stage. So these are really nice. These turned out to be so nice. Look at those swirls. All right. Now from the top of the soap, it smells good, and actually I smell this one here. The scent is coming through. You can still smell that funniness, you know, because of the milk. I think that's what usually happens in soaps. You know, your soap usually smells a little funny, you know, when you first cut it due to the milks. But still smells good from like the top. So there it is. These are really, really nice. Really, really nice. And that again, that top frosted part, the part I piped, turned out nice. It looks very nice. With we are back to do our lather test on our olive oil soap. Here it is. Okay, and I think it has darkened up a little bit due to the honey that's in it. Now this here has come off. My frosting came off of this piece. Don't know why that happened. It only happened to this one, and I kind of checked all the other ones to make sure that they were good, and they are. But other than that, the soap looks pretty good. So what we're trying to see today is how the additives affect the olive oil soap. Now I'm actually doing this test after I did my avocado one, even though I made this soap actually first. So I'm just getting around to testing it, and what we should see is some nice bubbles. Okay, that's what I experienced before, and that's kind of why I decided to do this. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my pieces ready. I also have my washcloth here to do a washcloth test. I'll probably have to use all of the little pieces in the washcloth in order to see something, but we'll see. All right, so let's go ahead and put this in here. We got some nice warm water here, and And let's start to lather. And I can already see the bubbles. I'll try to get close. All right. And so we got some nice little tight bubbles there. All right. No slime. Okay. No slime. All right. No slime on this. All right. Let's continue to lather. Okay. So that is great. I really like this. It's still very creamy, but we still got some bubbles there. We still got a nice lather. All right. Really like that. Okay, so I put honey in this. I do believe some type of milk. I can't even remember at this point. That's how long it's been. And I know there's sodium lactate and some clay in it, kaolin clay. All right, so this is so nice. Look at that, some nice bubbles there on that soap. Okay, and you know, again, it's longer than 6 weeks, but it's definitely has not been a year. And this is some great bubbly lather soap. So I hope to be able to put this on sale next week. Today is it May 31st? It's the day after Memorial Day 2022. All right, so compared to when I first made this soap, I made it back in the end of January, if I'm correct. Okay, if I remember correctly. It's like January 30th or something like that. So okay, so let's go ahead, let's wet our washcloth. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put our soap in, and let's see what we get. And I already broke, I can feel a piece broke off of this. All right, and I expected that because it's so small. Another piece broke off. All right, so the ends broke off of it. All right, there's one piece. Let's see if we can find the other. A couple little pieces fell off of there. All right, so it looks like we got some great bubbles. All right, and I have, again, from my opening statement, you know, I haven't tested this before. All right, and that's what it looks like on the washcloth. Okay. Okay. All right, let's do this arm. So I'm happy with that. It looks good. These are tight bubbles here coming off the washcloth. But again, you know, the more you rub it in, the more bubbles you get. So I'm happy with that. All right. Nice lather after, what is it, so 3-4 months old now. So for olive oil soap, that's really good. So I am pleased with it. All right, very pleased. Okay, so that is our olive oil test. Olive oil lather test with additives in our soap, and makes a nice wonderful lather, and it's not really slimy. All right, so check out our current listing at thesoapobsession.com. Please leave a comment, let me know what you think, and I'll catch you later.